2nd of June, and still being on stage, and I've got Sami here from Ensiferum. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Howdy ho, folks.
Thank you to take the time for a short talk here in Dessau, and I hope the question you like. And my first question to you is, how does it begin in your life with the music as you were a child?
Well, that's a good question. Music has always been a big part of my family. My father has played drums since he was like 12, 11 or something like that. And my other big brother, he used to play guitar when he was 10 or something. And actually he taught me the first things we played together, like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and Black Sabbath. And that's where it all started.
Okay.
And I had two big brothers, so I got educated very well to like hard rock. I was grown up with like Finnish Schlager from my dad's side in a way, and my brothers, hard rock, AC/DC and stuff like that. So I grew up in a weird mixture of music. But on the other hand, I think that's a good thing. That's music for me. It's not like black and white. I really love different kind of music styles.
Okay. And when you started to play bass?
When I was 11.
Was it your first instrument?
Bass.
Yeah.
There was nothing else.
Okay.
I think it was Steve Harris's fault. Shame on him.
Why? I mean, you are a good bass player.
No. I mean, only in a good way. But it's kind of weird. Not many people want to be bass players. So usually, the town where I'm from, all the kids want to be like the lead guitar players. And suddenly they know, okay, I don't have the skills for this, so maybe I become a bass player. And I remember one time I was a young kid, we had some competition at youth house or something. I think we had 6 bands playing that evening, and I played bass in 4 because there was no bass players in the fucking town. So there I was playing, death metal, and the next time, 10 minutes later I'm going on stage with the funk band. After that I'm going there with the pop band, and it's like...
It's the same like Mike Tirano on drums, played with Taya, with Exo Repel.
Yeah.
K2 and Masterplan, I think, many bands you play in. So, what was your first concert you ever played? Do you remember?
Real concert?
Yeah.
If you don't, do you count those youth hall things?
Your first concert you ever played in front of audience?
Well, okay, if it counts, when I was 11, I just got my bass, and my brother taught me Iron Man from Black Sabbath, and I was so, this is so cool. And I told my music teacher, yeah, I got a bass, and my big brother is teaching me. And she said, okay, bring the bass here, you can play for the class. I was like, really? So I took my bass and played Iron Man for kids, and they were like, well, my classmates, not kids, but does that count as a first concert? I don't know. But maybe like 2 years later, we had some cover project going on with Metallica and Red Hot Chili Peppers, Faith No More covers. And
so the first real concert in a youth club was with a cover band?
Yeah.
And that was your first real band, right?
It was also always just, hanging out with friends, and most of them played guitar or drums, so we... music kind of saved us from bad things, if I can put it this way. Even though music scene is, especially like metal scene, is people think it's all about drinking and doing bad stuff. But I think for me and most of my friends, it actually saved us, because like on Friday or Saturday evening, we went to rehearsal room and played, and we weren't there on the streets doing bad stuff. So
yeah. So no drugs and everything else. That's perfect. Which town you come from in Finland?
I come from Vantaa, and there's this really
It's near close to Helsinki.
Yeah.
There the airport is.
Yeah, exactly. There's this village called Koivukylä. It has pretty rough reputation.
Ah, okay. I was in Finland, I told you, 2.5 months, and traveled from Vantaa to Helsinki, and then I was in Kauklahti, next to 30 kilometers away from Helsinki, in Espoo. Yeah, really, really great town.
Yes, it is.
But nice people, that's really cool. So, yeah. How many clubs you got in Vantaa? Okay, I know in Helsinki you got the Nosturi, you got Tavastia, you got the Dome Club, Bar Bakery, the Backstage. What else? Le Bon?
Le Bon, yeah. Well, there are a lot of even small ones, like Semi-Final. There's this Virgin Oil.
Okay.
I don't know, there's so many clubs and pubs and whatever. I don't even know.
So you know some clubs here in Germany?
Here? Shit. Like Hellraiser or Backstage.
Hellraiser, Leipzig, Backstage in Munich.
Yes.
And in Berlin?
Berlin. Oh, fuck. There was this...
C-Club, Postbahnhof.
Yeah, Postbahnhof, yeah. And I really suck with the names. I only remember those 2 days because we talked about a few previous gigs in Germany. And we were talking about Hellraiser and Backstage. Yeah, Postbahnhof. And there was this Röhr. I don't know which city it was. Okay, I suck. Sorry. I have terrible memory with this.
Do you have a special club where you'd like to play every time when you're on tour? I mean, not in Germany, so all over the world.
Not really. So far, everything has been good, at least in some way. For me, it's... And, you know, touring in Europe is like a piece of cake. It's different if you go to States.
Okay.
So after touring in States for a few times, then you really appreciate European venues.
Okay, why?
Well, they have toilets, they have Backstage.
In the USA, not?
No. Yeah, you have to change clothes in a bus and, you know, run through a parking lot to a show, and you can... Yeah, there's no showers. I think the longest time without shower is over a week for me. And, you know, the bus starts to smell if you have, like, almost 20 people there. And that's part of the job, in a way.
Okay. But it's not so good when you all stink and your hair get fitty and...
Yeah. The hair is the biggest problem. I remember, I think it was Jan from Children of Bodom who said that after touring in States, you will learn how to wash your hair in a sink. Yeah. And we have this towel shower that we do, you know, we just take a wet towel and use that to get most of the sweat away. And of course, it's not the same in a real shower.
Let's come back to the bands. I mean, you played in a cover band. What was your first real band which played no cover songs?
That is a tricky question. That is a really difficult question. Because like I said, I played in many different kind of bands. I really can't remember which one was the first.
Okay.
But I used to play in a pop band, and with this one band we did this really greasy funk thing. And I also played in death metal band, even though I had any death metal albums. They were a few years older guys than me, but they were like the best musicians in our town. You know, they were really good. And I just... Well, they asked me because they knew I could play bass. They said, do you want to come play bass for us? And I knew they are really good composers and musicians. There was so much challenge in their music. Yeah. So I went there and I was, why can't he sing like a proper human being? You know, why he has to scream like that? And maybe like a year later, my friend was cleaning up his CD shelf and then he found Dark Tranquility Sky Dancer from there.
Oh, okay.
And he said, yeah, you're the long-haired bastard, take this. I was like, what is this? And I went home, and, you know, when Nightfall started, I was like, wow, okay, now I get this. And I just actually wrote, we had this mobile application thing. I just wrote there like an hour ago that we're actually sharing bus with Judge Tranquility now. And if somebody would have told me like over 15 years ago that I'm gonna share a bus, I'm gonna tour with those guys someday who influenced so much to my music taste and, you know, the way I compose music, and I would have just say fuck you.
They came the child out of you.
Yes. But yeah, I also wrote there that, you know, you should always chase your dreams and never give up, you know, and life is full of surprises.
Yeah. Is it the same way that would you say to bands who try to start now in the music business?
Yes, exactly that. You have to have faith and don't try too hard, because if things happen, they will happen, but don't lose your faith.
Okay. And is it better for the band that they have to start without a management, without a label, to get their own experience in the music business? Or is it better to start with a label with big influence from other people?
I don't think that's a black and white question. It's really... Because there are good people in this business, but there are also so many assholes. And the fact that it's business from labels and managers' side also, so I think it's good to have some kind of foundation first, you know, and have solid band, so that the band is really united before you get anyone from outside to get involved. That's just my opinion.
Okay. And would you create a band nowadays? Would you say, okay, now in the music business I will create a new band?
Me? Yeah, and I still have some project bands, and I hope I always will do that. Even though Ensiferum is taking a lot of my time, but like I said earlier, I always love to play different kind of music with good people, and I hope I can keep doing that until the day I die. So even though when I'm 90 something, I will definitely start a new band if I feel like, okay, we have this great idea and let's few riffs and let's go on.
But is it possible to get a new idea, because there's so much now because of the internet and everything else, so that so many bands are existing but no one can hear them because there's too much?
Yeah, that's true. But there we come to the point that why you start doing music. Is it for sex and drugs and rock and roll, or is it because you love to play music with good people? I think there you have to be also honest that if you start a band, it should be for the right reasons. Yeah. So, at least the way I see it, you should start a band because you have good people around you who are like similar-minded. You have certain enthusiasm, certain kind of music, and just go for it. And the thing is, you're never ready. It's not like, okay, let's do 10 songs and that's it. No, it's a lifelong process.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you could create a band, your all-time favorite band, with people who live and people who are dead already, you got 6 members maximum. So, which people will be in the band?
Iron Maiden, period. Sorry.
The whole Iron Maiden band is your all-time favorite band, and no other members from other bands?
Nah. It wouldn't be Iron Maiden then.
Okay. So you wouldn't create your own band?
Like All Stars band?
Yeah. An all-time favorite band?
No, because you can take it's like in sports, you know, you can have the best, like football or ice hockey, whatever, players, but if you put them in the same team, it's not necessarily the best team in the world. Yeah. The same is with music. You have to have certain different kind of personalities, and it's so much about chemistry. And
that's the reason why I'm asking you your personal all-time favorite band. So which band would you create, from which members? So which singer, which bass player, maybe from other bands? That's the way I want to know.
Okay, as I like really humoristic way. I don't know. This is too difficult because I like way too different kind of music.
That's no problem. You can choose from every music style you want.
Yeah, well, okay. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name, but I would take the drummer from a band called Mars Volta. Singer would be Björk.
Okay.
And I need 2 bass players. I think I'll take Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers and Steve Harris. That's 4. Okay, and then we need a guitar player. Okay, let's take Steve Vai. He would be creative enough for this.
Which band?
Steve Vai.
Forgot the band name.
Steve Vai. Okay.
Sorry.
No problem at all. And
Drums, I think.
isn't the drummer yet? Oh shit! Mike Borden from Faith No More. And I'm gonna have an extra guy. I'm gonna take Henri Sorvali from Moonsorrow as keyboard player.
Oh, what kind of music do you want to try to play? What would you say when you are a manager or a creator of songs?
I don't know. I would give them a lot of beer and booze and lock them in a cabin far away from civilization and say, okay, make me an album.
A jam session and just record it?
Yes, jam session from hell.
Okay, and when they finish the songs, what would you say to for a music video? Which, as a director, what would you say could be the way for the video?
For that band?
Yeah.
I have something really artistic. Maybe we should give, to make it more interesting, we should give Tarantino to direct that one.
Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah.
Oh, like Kill Bill from hell.
Yeah, something like that. To make it more interesting.
Okay. So, and you are the manager from the band, so Kill. Nice band, really.
Yeah, I have to send a few emails. Maybe that will happen. With this lineup.
Okay, yeah. I got a band from Fury UK. He told me that Ronnie James Dio and Steve Harris also, Lemmy as a bass player, and many more. So really creative things I heard from. Yeah. But your band is also crazy. So it's nice. You would send them on tour, and you travel a lot around. So do you have some favorite cities which you like to travel?
Well, like I said earlier, Germany is like our second home.
Yeah.
Our German fans really have a special place in our hearts.
I mean, as a private person, when you travel around.
Oh, like on vacation?
Yeah. Not on tour, so like holiday.
Holiday. I really like Australia. Mm-hmm. But from Europe, I really liked Norway. It's really beautiful there. And also Portugal. It's really nice place. I've been there for vacation. And I like Rocky Mountains in North America.
So you travel around a lot of the nature, right?
Yeah, I think as a Finnish person, nature is really important.
Yeah.
I really not big fan of like city vacations.
Okay.
And like every time we have a North American tour and people are like, oh, are you having a day off in New York? I was like, yeah, it's city. It's always the same.
Yeah. But you have seen a lot, I think. I mean, Rocky Mountains ever seen or?
Yeah, we drive there a few times. But unfortunately, actually, even though we tour a lot and we've been almost on every continent.
In Asia too?
Yeah, we played in China and Taiwan and Japan.
Really?
Yeah, and India.
Oh, cool.
Even though India is not the same, but
people knows you there?
Yeah, we had a really crazy tour in China. We played like 5 shows and then we went to Taiwan and it was wow.
Okay.
Really crazy, but it was so polite also and food was good and
okay. What is the difference between Europe and China?
In which way? What do you mean?
In everything, like the clubs, the audience, the whole.
Well, I don't think there was so big difference because, you know, we're human beings all, and, you know, all metal fans are always really polite and they're enjoying the music. And well, maybe the one difference was on this one venue in China. I can't remember the city, I'm sorry. Somehow the PA turned off during the show, and, you know, there was mosh pits going on, crowd serving, roar. And when the PA went down, everybody just stood there, waited, and somebody shouted like, "Ensiferum!" And guys in the front row were like, "Okay, it's okay, you can talk." It was like dead silent until the PA was on again, and then we continued, and the mosh pit go crazy again. It was like, what just happened? They were so polite.
There's a mosh pit in China, right?
Yes.
I see many DVDs from Japan and China shows, and didn't see any mosh pit there. So that's crazy to know.
Yeah, we had crazy stuff going on there, and in some cities we were the first Western band ever to play, even though there was like 7 million people living there. But we were the first Western band to play, so it was quite an honor also to be there.
Did you try to learn the language of the band, of the country? I mean,
well, we have friends from Taiwan, because we toured this band called Noack in 2007. They're really nice people, and of course, you know, we teach them Finnish, you know, bad words in Finnish and curse words, and they try to teach us some Chinese and Taiwanese, and I don't understand. Well, of course I understand because now I have studied a little bit, but I can never speak it. The language, the logic is so weird because, you know, the same word, depending how you pronounce it, is a different thing. If you na or nya.
It is signings, yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different. I think there are like 4 or 5 different versions of every word. It's like, I'm an old man. I have bad memory even. I can't remember fucking cities or venues in Europe, so how can I learn another language?
So you don't try to contact with the people on the venue to speak some words in their language? Not only in Taiwan and China, I mean other countries.
Yes, of course, you know, like thank you and excuse me. Those are the minimum. Of course, that's like polite.
Yeah.
And like in German, you know. Okay. And I can say Günther, ich bitte einen große Kebab haben. Yes, that's really important.
Yeah, normally beer.
Yeah, große Bier. That works also. But
and let's come back a little bit back to the music, because when you play the show, you stay on the merchandise and talk with the fans. Do you catch the feedback of the people and try to tell them to the other band members, and maybe on the next time in your rehearsal room you try to fix it up and get it better?
Well, of course we listen to the feedback, but the thing is that this will sound really selfish, but you know, you can't please everyone.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, the band wouldn't be what it is if we would have listened to people from outside all the time.
Yeah.
So we want to be honest to our music, and of course the honesty comes from within us. So, you know, like people say, don't do so much orchestrations or do this or do that. It's like, you know, we're writing the music, so
yeah. If you don't like it, turn the CD player off.
Yes, exactly. And that's the thing, you know, like I said earlier, some things for the young bands, you know, you should write the music to yourself, so that you can stand behind every note and every word, and not think about, okay, this is the trend now that's going on or whatever. It's just that's totally wrong way.
Yeah. Do you ever feel that you can maybe would stand in a first row of your own concert?
Yeah, why not?
How would you describe the show of Ensiferum when you are in the first row and see yourself on the stage?
That is a really good question. It's really hard to be so objective. If I would be drunk, I think I would be enjoying it really much. You know, we have good, energetic show with catchy songs, sing along, and Ensiferum show is always about good mood, and it's not so dark. Even though it's metal, of course and of course topic of the lyrics sometimes are really gloomy, but for live situation, we're having fun for us.
And how important is the light show of the show?
Lights are really important, especially on our own headlining tour. And like on festivals, we rarely have our own light engineer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Because it's, we fly from Finland, it's already so expensive, so we had to cut down the crew. But on the own headlining tours, we will invest much more to whole production stuff.
Yeah. I think it's better to have their own music, as a tone technique here, and a sound engineer and a light engineer, because I saw here many bands on the festival too, which get so bad light.
Yeah.
The best light I saw was yesterday Creator, and I hope you too tonight. But when you play at 7, it's not dark enough.
Yeah, that's the thing also. You have to check out that if you're playing too early, there's no really point getting your own light engineer.
Okay. What do you expect from a band when you are in a crowd and you are not your own band on the stage? I mean, when you see a newcomer, an unknown band, I mean, if I don't know if you're watching to some bands like this, so...
Yeah, every now and then, yes.
And what do you expect from them when you've never seen and heard before?
Usually nothing. If I go to the show, I try to be open-minded, and it's like, okay, convince me.
Okay. And happens often, or did it happen often that they convince you?
I'm trying to think. I haven't went to show for a long time because we were in studio and like today, the band that's playing
Stealing,
yeah. That was like really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'll definitely go for this show if I have time on some other Metalfest.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You have to do it because they're really great. They come from Sweden.
Yeah.
Really nice band. Do you have some other bands in your mind which are newcomer and unknown, maybe from Finland?
No, I don't follow the scene at all.
Okay. Because you listen also to other music.
It's not about that. I just don't follow the scene, and I don't have TV or anything. I don't listen to radio. I'm always like 10 years behind when something. If somebody recommends me a band, then I definitely will check it out. But I always have a list in my cell phone. If I see or some friend of mine tells me, "Oh, that was so good," metal or jazz or whatever. Okay, give me the name, and then I go to Spotify or YouTube or whatever, or go buy the album. That's the way it goes for me. I know some people they live from the music and they are craving for new bands all the time. But
does it ever happen that you heard from a band, listen to them, and say, "Hey, we have to take them with us on tour"?
I wish it would be that simple, because it's Because at this level, we don't have so much power on it.
Okay. Yeah, because many bands are from the newcomer style have the problem that they don't play on tours with big bands because they have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's about money, and that's what I mean. On this level, we can't afford to do charity. It's even though it would be cool. Like our booking agent from Finland, he sent us a link of this really good sounding band. I can't remember the name, from Faroe Islands, Natur. They are French and they are awesome also. But this is some new band, and it sounded really good, and it would be so cool to see them live and have them on tour. But well, if I win in a lottery, I'm gonna invite them.
How much are in Finland now in the lottery?
Huh?
How much are in Finland now in the lottery? Do you know it?
You mean the jackpot?
Yeah.
I think it's something like 4 million now. But they also have this Euro lottery going on now.
Okay.
Get shitloads more money. I don't know. I don't do it. Maybe I should do one row, just one lottery ticket just to get the Faroe Island guys to our tour.
Maybe that's a big jackpot. Yes. I press all my fingers.
Okay. Thank you.
So then I thank you for the time. I hope you like the questions, and the last words are for you.
Well, thank you for the great interview. It's always an honor to do a great interview with interesting questions. And for the listeners, enjoy the summer and check out the new album. It's going to come out in August. And see you on summer festivals or latest on the headlining tour in September. Stay metal.